So to mount this dowel, which we use for the up and down pivot of sorts, it works decent, not fantastic, but it's just a V we put on the ends of these triangles, as you can see here, that the dowel sits in so that the ballista is easy to take apart, as it is quite large. So it takes up a lot of space. So being able to take the ballista, dowel, and the tripod apart is really, really helpful. And then here is us drilling a hole in the mount for the dowel to go through, which was a total pain. It was probably not the best way to do that. We drilled with a hole saw through like 6 inches of wood, and it took forever. We cracked the wood, so we wrapped it in tape to hold the cracks together, but it just took forever. The drill started smoking. It was kind of a pain. We used a lot of the jigsaw for cutting out these pieces. Here we are cutting out the trigger. Also took a fair while. The trigger is basically just 2 teeth that hold on to the string. We ended up scrapping this, and we're going to go back and build a better version in part 3 because we wanted this to work, but it just didn't quite turn out the way that we had planned. So I think we might go back and use a different material or just a different type of trigger. But the way this works would work for something smaller, or maybe if you had different tools, like an oscillating sander would probably help. This is a high quality photography shot right there. We put a hinge on the trigger to help it move the way we wanted to and get that motion that we needed, as you will see demonstrating. And because we didn't have the proper sander, we used a Dremel to smooth it up as much as possible, but that didn't work great at all. Also, we used a very bad hinge. It actually broke after a couple firing tests. So I will definitely recommend whatever trigger mech we come up with in the next video, rather than what we did here. So then we just screwed the ballista part directly onto the mount, which was sitting on the dowel. And see how that works in a second, but you can see it kind of pivots up and down. And it works really well. Here is the knock. So instead of putting knocks on all of the bolts, we put a knock on the ballista strand. So it worked for a while, and then it started ruining the band, so we need to figure something else out. Cut down all of the PVC pipe bolts, and then cut down this foam noodle to stick on the end to pad them. Actually works really well. And we were just doing a little bit of test firing, making sure everything fit the way we wanted it to before we added the final touches and painted, or I guess stained, the whole thing. So these hooks here on the side are just for holding the extra bolts. We have 9 bolts, and 7 bolts, and they are held up using these hooks, and then 1 in the barrel. And this system is really nice because you can just reach over and load it by yourself, but you can't really load it by yourself. It is quite difficult to prime. But if you could load it by yourself, that would be really convenient. That top one just did not want to stay. It moved a lot with us walking on it and bumping into it and stuff. But we eventually got it to work. I guess it worked anyway, it just kept falling off due to human error, so. We did some firing tests and just made sure everything was the way we wanted it, because once you stain it, it's really, really hard to go back and fix some of these other problems we could have had or did have. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay awesome and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know when the third part of this video comes out, so that you can be one of the first people to watch it. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.